Welcome to the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Prepcast, where we guide you through everything you need to know for your certification exam. Whether you're just starting or looking to refine your knowledge, this course will set you up for success. Brought to you by baremetalcyber.com. Let's get started. Artificial intelligence, or AI, and machine learning, or ML, are often used interchangeably, but they are not the same. AI refers to the broad field of creating systems that can mimic human-like intelligence, such as understanding speech or recognizing images. Machine learning is a subset of AI that uses algorithms to learn patterns from data and make predictions or decisions. AWS offers both customizable machine learning platforms for data scientists and pre-built AI services that anyone can use through simple APIs. For the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner exam, you need conceptual awareness of these services and how they apply to real-world scenarios. Amazon SageMaker is AWS's flagship machine learning service. It provides an end-to-end platform for building, training, and deploying ML models. Data scientists use SageMaker to prepare datasets, choose algorithms, train models at scale, and host them for predictions. Without SageMaker, this process can require a patchwork of tools and significant infrastructure management. SageMaker simplifies the workflow into one managed service. On the exam, remember that SageMaker is AWS's comprehensive ML service for custom model development and deployment. AWS also provides a broad landscape of pre-built AI services that don't require ML expertise. These services expose powerful AI capabilities through APIs, allowing developers to integrate them into applications easily. Instead of training models, customers simply send data to the service and receive results. This makes AI accessible to businesses without data science teams. For the exam, know that AWS offers a mix of customizable ML with SageMaker and pre-built AI services for common use cases. Amazon Rekognition is a pre-built AI service for analyzing images and videos. It can detect objects, recognize faces, identify inappropriate content, and even analyze emotions. For example, a retailer might use Rekognition to automatically tag product photos, while a security system might use it to identify people from camera feeds. On the exam, remember Rekognition as the AI service for image and video analysis. Amazon Comprehend is AWS's natural language processing service. It can analyze text to determine sentiment, extract key phrases, and identify entities such as names or locations. For example, a business could use Comprehend to scan customer reviews and determine overall satisfaction. On the exam, know that Comprehend provides insights into text through natural language processing, or NLP. Amazon Transcribe converts speech to text. This service is commonly used in call centers, transcription services, and media companies. For example, a healthcare provider could use Transcribe to capture doctor-patient conversations as text from medical records. On the exam, remember that Transcribe is AWS's speech-to-text AI service. Amazon Polly does the reverse. It converts text into lifelike speech. Polly supports many languages and voices, making it useful for applications like virtual assistants, e-learning platforms, or accessibility features. For example, an ebook service might use Polly to generate audiobooks automatically. On the exam, know that Polly is AWS's text-to-speech service. Amazon Translate is another AI service, providing real-time language translation. It supports dozens of languages and is useful for global applications, such as translating user content or supporting multilingual chat. For example, a travel company could use Translate to provide customer support across languages. For the exam, remember that Translate enables automatic translation between languages. Amazon Lex is AWS's service for building conversational interfaces, such as chatbots or voice assistants. It uses the same underlying technology as Amazon Alexa. Lex allows developers to design natural conversations and connect them to back-end systems. For example, a bank might create a chatbot with Lex that answers customer account questions. On the exam, know that Lex builds chatbots and conversational applications. Amazon Kendra is an enterprise search service powered by AI. It allows organizations to index their internal documents and provide intelligent search across them. For example, an employee might type in a natural language question, and Kendra retrieves the most relevant answer from company manuals. For the exam, remember that Kendra enables AI-powered search across enterprise knowledge bases. Amazon Forecast is a time series forecasting service. It uses historical data to predict future outcomes such as sales, inventory demand, or energy usage. For example, a retailer could use Forecast to anticipate holiday shopping trends. On the exam, remember Forecast as the service for generating accurate time-based predictions. Amazon Personalize is another pre-built AI service designed for creating recommendation engines. It can deliver personalized product suggestions, content recommendations, or targeted marketing. For example, a streaming service might use Personalize to recommend shows based on user behavior. On the exam, know that Personalize enables personalization and recommendation systems without requiring ML expertise. Data quality and labeling are critical in AI and ML. Models are only as good as the data they are trained on, and poor quality data can lead to inaccurate predictions. AWS offers tools like SageMaker Ground Truth to help label data efficiently. For example, labeling images of cars ensures a computer vision model can distinguish between trucks and sedans. For the exam, remember that data preparation and labeling are essential steps in machine learning workflows. Finally, AWS emphasizes responsible AI and data privacy. This includes building models that avoid bias, respecting user data rights, and ensuring systems are transparent and secure. For example, companies using recognition for facial analysis must consider ethical implications and privacy laws. On the exam, you won't be tested on ethics directly, but you should be aware that AWS stresses responsible use of AI services, highlighting security and compliance in AI workloads. For more cyber-related content and books, please check out cyberauthor.me. Also, there are other prepcasts on cybersecurity and more at baremetalcyber.com. Building machine learning models in SageMaker follows a clear flow: training and deployment. In the training phase, data scientists feed prepared datasets into SageMaker, select algorithms, and run training jobs. SageMaker manages the infrastructure needed, whether it's CPU or GPU clusters. Once the model is trained, it is deployed to an endpoint where it can make predictions, also called inference. This end-to-end flow eliminates the need to stitch together multiple systems. On the exam, remember that SageMaker simplifies the full ML lifecycle from training to deployment. A useful feature in SageMaker is the feature store. A feature is an attribute of data used in training models, such as the age of a customer or location of a transaction. The feature store provides a central place to store, update, and reuse features across multiple models. This ensures consistency and reduces duplication of work. For example, if two teams use customer age as a feature, the feature store guarantees they define it the same way. For the exam, know that the feature store supports reusability and consistency in ML. Inference costs are an important part of running machine learning workloads. While training can be expensive, making predictions at scale also adds up. AWS allows customers to optimize costs by choosing the right instance types, enabling auto-scaling, and even using serverless inference where models run only when needed. For example, a fraud detection model may only be invoked during payment transactions, so serverless inference keeps costs low. On the exam, remember that inference costs must be managed by aligning deployment with actual demand. Amazon SageMaker Ground Truth is AWS's data labeling service. High-quality labeled data is essential for training accurate models. Ground Truth uses human labelers and machine learning assistants to tag datasets, such as labeling images or categorizing text. For example, labeling medical images as healthy or diseased ensures a model can learn correctly. For exam preparation, know that Ground Truth provides scalable, efficient data labeling to improve training datasets. Amazon Bedrock is one of AWS's newer offerings, focused on foundation models. Foundation models are large, pre-trained models that can perform many AI tasks, such as generating text or summarizing documents. With Bedrock, customers can use these models without managing infrastructure or training them from scratch. This lowers the barrier to entry for organizations wanting to use generative AI. On the exam, remember that Bedrock provides access to foundation models through simple APIs. Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG, is an emerging pattern in AI. At a high level, it combines a foundation model with a search system. The model retrieves relevant documents from a database or knowledge source and uses them to generate accurate, context-aware responses. For example, a legal chatbot might use RAG to pull laws from a database before answering a user's question. For exam purposes, you only need conceptual awareness. RAG strengthens AI outputs by grounding them in real data. Security is critical in AI workloads. AWS encourages encrypting training data and models with KMS, controlling access with IAM, and logging all activity with CloudTrail. Customers are responsible for ensuring that sensitive data, such as personal information, is handled securely. For example, if a company trains a model on customer financial data, encryption and strict IAM controls are essential. On the exam, remember that security for AI follows the same shared responsibility model as other AWS services. A common question is when to use a pre-built AI service versus building a custom ML model in SageMaker. Pre-built AI services like Recognition or Translate are best when your use case matches a common pattern, such as image recognition or text translation. They are quick to implement and require no expertise. SageMaker is needed when your problem is unique or requires custom features, such as predicting equipment failures in a factory using proprietary data. On the exam, remember this distinction. Use AI services for common tasks, SageMaker for custom models. Scaling endpoints is another feature of SageMaker. As demand for predictions grows, endpoints can auto-scale to handle the load. This ensures applications remain responsive during peak usage, such as a retailer's recommendation engine during holiday sales. Customers can configure scaling policies to balance cost and performance. For the exam, know that SageMaker endpoints scale automatically to meet demand, ensuring consistent inference performance. Model monitoring is an often overlooked part of ML operations. SageMaker Model Monitor helps track deployed models to ensure they continue performing accurately. Over time, the data feeding into models may change, leading to model drift. For example, a fraud detection model trained on old transaction data may fail as fraud patterns evolve. Model Monitor detects this drift so teams can retrain models. On the exam, remember that monitoring ensures ML models remain effective after deployment. Industry use cases for AI and ML are everywhere. Healthcare uses AI for analyzing medical images, retail applies recommendation engines to boost sales, finance uses models to detect fraud, and manufacturing predicts equipment failures. Even small businesses benefit from AI through chatbots, automated translations, or business dashboards. For the exam, be aware that AWS AI services apply broadly across industries, providing accessible tools for innovation. Within the Certified Cloud Practitioner exam, the scope of AI and ML is limited to conceptual awareness. You don't need to know algorithms or training techniques, but should recognize what each service does and when to use it. Questions may ask which service converts text to speech, which service supports recommendation engines, or which platform allows custom ML. Mastering this high-level understanding ensures you can answer exam questions and speak confidently about AWS AI offerings. Finally, AI and ML are fields that evolve rapidly. AWS continuously expands services like SageMaker and Bedrock while adding new capabilities to pre-built AI services. This means that continuous learning is essential. Professionals who stay updated through AWS training, blogs, and documentation will always be ready to take advantage of the latest developments. For the exam, it's enough to understand today's fundamentals, but in practice, ongoing learning is key to staying relevant in the AI-driven future. As we close this episode, remember that AWS offers both pre-built AI services and customizable ML platforms to make intelligent applications accessible to everyone. SageMaker supports the full machine learning lifecycle, while services like Recognition, Comprehend, and Personalize deliver AI power through APIs. With Bedrock and emerging patterns like RAG, AWS continues to push boundaries in AI innovation. For the exam, focus on knowing what each service does conceptually. For real-world application, use these services to create smarter, scalable solutions that harness the power of data. That concludes today's episode of the AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner Prepcast. Be sure to tune in for the next episode and visit us online at baremetalcyber.com or cyberauthor.me for more resources, including news, mailing lists, YouTube videos, podcasts, and much more.